The Zen story that changed my life, a monk's wisdom you need to hear. Have you ever felt like life keeps spinning, and no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to catch up? That was me. Overwhelmed, exhausted, and always chasing the next thing. I thought peace was impossible, until I met a monk who changed everything. It happened during a trip taken out of desperation, a search for stillness in a life that was anything but. As the weight of stress consumed me, little did I know that one conversation under the shade of a quiet tree would alter my perspective forever. I found myself wandering into a serene monastery tucked in the hills. The sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling in the breeze felt foreign to my frantic mind. That's where I met him, the monk with an unshakable calm radiating from his every movement. We sat together in silence at first. Then, with a soft smile, he asked, "Why are you here?" I spilled my frustrations, the endless noise, the deadlines, and the feeling that I was living life on fast forward, unable to pause or find meaning. His response was simple but profound. "Do you hear that bird?" he asked. I nodded but didn't fully understand his point yet. The monk told me a story. He spoke of a man who carried water in two pots, one perfect and the other cracked. Each day, the cracked pot felt inferior because it lost water. But over time, the man noticed flowers blooming along the path where the cracked pot dripped. He paused and said, "Your cracks, your struggles, can nurture beauty, but only if you slow down enough to notice." It wasn't in books, podcasts, or endless strategies that I'd find peace, he explained. It was already here, waiting in the simplicity of the present moment. Peace isn't something you chase, he said. It's found in stillness. I realized my constant rushing had blinded me to the joy of the present. He invited me to sit with him and close my eyes. "Feel your breath," he whispered. "Don't judge the thoughts that come. Just let them pass, like clouds floating by." At first it felt impossible, but as minutes ticked by, I felt the weight on my chest ease, not because my problems disappeared, but because I wasn't clinging to them anymore. I was simply here, in this moment, breathing. The monk likened our minds to muddy water. If you keep stirring, the water stays murky. Let it settle, and clarity comes on its own. When I left the monastery, I promised myself I wouldn't forget this lesson. I began to weave small mindful rituals into my life, pausing to breathe before my morning coffee, listening to the sound of raindrops instead of scrolling my phone, and celebrating the moments when I could just be. Life didn't magically become easier, but it started to feel lighter. The monk's wisdom became my compass, guiding me back to myself whenever I felt lost in life's noise. Remember, peace isn't an elusive goal or something reserved for monks. It's already within you, waiting for the stillness to emerge. Start with a single breath. Take a walk without distractions. Notice the beauty in ordinary moments. Let the present moment become your place of grounding. If this story resonated with you, I want to invite you to take one small step today. Pause right now, close your eyes, and take 3 deep breaths. Then, share in the comments. What small mindful habit will you embrace today? The journey to inner calm begins not in the future, but in this very second. Let's walk this path together.